you today? So I follow this guy on YouTube, and I follow lots of people on YouTube, but I follow this one particular person, and I really love what he stands for. For him, he said, I don't monetize, I don't have put up a paywall for anything that I produce. The only thing that I ask is one, that you subscribe to my channel, connect with me on LinkedIn. And then two, when I do have a product, if you can consider it, think about purchasing one of my books because that actually helps the greater cause. It's the greater good. So that's all I ask of you also when I am producing these things and as I am releasing in the next couple weeks and months, a new webinar opportunity, a new podcast, going to continue with these vlog posts also. When you have a chance, if you would just like and follow me and subscribe down below. But then also, if you ever have a chance, if you would purchase a copy of my book, that would be wonderful. I have not talked about winning with whiskers in a bit. So I am going to talk about winning with whiskers because I have the opportunity to speak on it later this morning. So Winning with Whiskers was actually released in June of 2024, and it's received lots of great accolades. The award that's up here is specifically related to it, and it did achieve bestseller status. I produced Winning with Whiskers because I felt that there was a need. Everything that I do, like the undercurrent of and the foundation of everything that I do, is really for us to be able to understand who we are as individuals and have that self awareness. But self awareness is only one piece of the puzzle. We have to have empathy and curiosity for the person on the other side of the table. We communicate in the way that we like to be communicated to. We sell in the way that we like to be sold to, and all the stuff, right? We lead, manage in that same way also. But it's incumbent upon us to figure out who's on the other side of the table. So then that way we ultimately can try to connect. If we're not connecting, they might not be your people. It's actually worth it though to try to put in the time to figure out, can I get to the relationship with them? And then also knowing that we have to get to the relationship before we get to the ask. So I haven't talked about Winning with Whiskers in a little bit. And, here's the book right here. This is the paperback copy that I utilize whenever I do BD Dynamics trainings. But you can actually get the hard copy version on Amazon. I'm going to share my screen because I want to talk a little bit about the fable itself and what it is and where it came from and all the stuff. So we are sharing right now. And that's a copy of the cover of the book. You will see the characters, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. I developed this book not to make the subject matter cartoonish, but much like the inspiration. The inspiration was Who Moved My Cheese, that great book about change from 30 years ago. I wanted to write this business development book that stood the test of time, but that people could actually relate to and that could do some lighthearted heavy lifting for us. And so as I tell the fable tale, I want you to just really imagine who you resonate with the most, which character actually speaks to you the most. And so it's knowing that we have uniqueness and we have to embrace our uniqueness and ultimately connect with the people that we really connect with. So this is Gigi and she's a client. As the fable goes, she is looking for some new service providers. So she gets with her assistant, Willie the Wise Owl, and they create a list of possible companies that they are going to interview for their project. Now they set up Willie sets up these meetings, and the companies are represented by each of the different characters. Stevie, from left to right. Stevie is the entertaining sea lion. Harley is the workhorse. He's that tried and true workhorse. Danny is the loyal older dog. And then Rocky is the robot. And so when they come in and meet with Gigi, they have their own different styles of connecting. Harley does not like anything that is sales or salesy. So his whole approach is to talk about what he's done in the past, how he's delivered specifically, and more, not necessarily only about himself. He is willing to talk, and he loves to talk about the people that he surrounds himself with. So for him, repeat business is super easy because he just goes super deep in relationships and produces over and over again. So that retention is always there. We have Rocky the robot. Rocky actually sits behind statistics. He's super innovative. You see on the screen here, he has his iPhone or his phone, his mobile phone embedded in his arm. Breastplate actually has his computer there, so we can just easily pop it out. Challenge sometimes with Rocky though is that he hides behind that data, and unless you make the connection with him, he actually can only connect regarding analytics and that's. But if those people, there are people there that love the analytics. So I don't want to put that, none of the characters are leading from anything other than positive intent, but they all have their blind spots, right? So Rocky actually doesn't like big events. He likes that one-on-one interaction and knowing that he's super innovative and he's going to be the one leveraging all the new trends, like AI, for instance. Then we have Danny, that older loyal dog. She gets into the details. She finds out what exactly is the problem that you're trying to solve here. She's looking for problems that she can identify also, because she's that problem finder as well, like sniffing it out. Problem finder in addition to the problem solver. She will sit down with her client, look eyeball to eyeball, and then customize a program specifically related to that client and that client's needs. And then finally, we have Stevie, that entertaining sea lion. Stevie actually is there. She loves a good party. She will fly in with her scarf flying in the breeze, and she will get down to business by actually talking about what the great events are coming up. How can I entertain you? What are some of the really fun things that we can do together? So then that way, that's how she gets to relationships. So as the fable goes, who got the deal? Who did Gigi choose? And the reality is it depends upon, it depends. So I want you to really dig in and think about who might Gigi have chosen, because it could go any which way, right? It really depends upon who Gigi is and what her motivators are. And so that's the summary regarding the Winning with Whiskers that you will find in the book also. Without business relationships, we don't have a business. We have to identify and connect with our own types of relationship. We have to know our uniqueness also. They are our whiskers. Every character has a whisker. By the way, even the robot, the antenna, so think of your Roomba, the antenna that it takes for an automatic vacuum not to run into something is called a whisker. And so all of the characters have whiskers there, and it's really important that we understand who our whiskers are and who their whiskers are, and then ultimately find that common ground. And sometimes we have to find our people, but if they're not there, that person's not our person. It's okay within the team. We work in environments where we have bigger teams to be able to say, I think that you will get along better with this client. I am going to get along better with this other particular client. And the last one, and you can read the summary from the additional ones, but the last thing is we have to get to the relationship before we get to the ask. Like any deposit that we make, we never go to the bank and expect to make a withdrawal. And if we haven't made any deposits, it's the same way with relationships. If we want to withdraw, we actually have to have the relationships that are there. So I'm going to stop sharing right now. That is the fable. That is Winning with Whiskers. It had been a little while since I had talked about it. I'm bringing it and I'm folding it into more of my materials. So I just wanted to do a quick little refresher. What about you? Which whisker do you resonate with the most? Which character feels like you the most? The question that I often get is, which character are you? And I will tell you, I'm every one of them. That's how I so easily was able to write the book, is that I actually have a little bit of each character in me, some more than others. And if you want to know a little bit more about that, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to tell you about it. You take good care, and I'll see you soon.